Buenos días, señora. Bien, gracias. ¿Puedo sacar su libro? Sí, gracias.
In my early 20s I started consuming amphetamines, speed, because that was a lot cheaper. And then through the party scene I started consuming cocaine, but not on a heavy basis, maybe just weekends, and I'm going to say socially. I know it's not social anymore, but socially with my friends. Not every day. I wasn't an addict. I didn't go out and steal to get the drugs. But the reason that even though I was using cocaine, that didn't make me become a burrier. Not at all, not at all. I did it for the money. When I arrived at the airport, I went to check in as normal. They checked my passport and they asked me to put my luggage on the X-ray machine. The first suitcase went through okay. The second one, they were looking, and they took it back like 3 times and looking. I don't know. I think they were looking to see how I was acting, because I don't really believe that they saw anything in the suitcase. But I was then starting to panic because they kept putting it back through, and there was about 6 police there, and I could feel them all looking at me, and I was starting to feel very nervous. They told me then to check in. I went to check in, but they told me my suitcases were over there for security. So by that point I was really panicking, and then they asked me to go back behind the conveyor belt, and they stabbed the suitcase and it was positive, and then they took me to the office, and the rest is history, and I'm here. When I'm sentenced here, I can apply to transfer back to England. If I get 6 con 8 here, I serve 1/3 of my time in prison and the rest of the time semi-libertad in Lima. But if I go back to England, I have to serve half of 6 con 8. So it's more time in prison, but it's closer to my family. It's in conditions that I'm more used to. I'll be able to have my family come to see me. So I would prefer to go back to England, even though I would have to serve more time in prison. I knew absolutely nothing. I don't know whether it's naivety, it's not stupidity, and I think I can speak for most English people, or maybe most Europeans. I didn't even know that cocaine was produced in Peru. I knew absolutely nothing. I just knew I was coming here. I didn't even question, is it made here? I just didn't even question it. I just thought, oh, it's obviously cheap here, and that's why I've come here to bring it. And us in Europe, we don't even, it's not that we don't think about it, we just don't know about it. And I think that is the message that needs to get over to Europe, so that we take responsibility. We have to feel guilty for it, really, because while we're demanding it, Peru are supplying it. If the demand stops, the supply will drop as well. But it's extremely sad, very sad.